Today I want to talk about Battlefield 5, specifically Firestorm. Is it officially dead in 2023? And how is the gameplay right now? If it's not dead, that's what we're going to talk about, man. So let me just say, full disclaimer, this was my first Battle Royale ever. And so I have an emotional connection to it, I guess you could say, like I feel like a lot of people do with their first Battle Royales. You know, I thought the concept of Firestorm was really cool because, first of all, unlike, gas or anything like that in other Battle Royale style games, the fire was not only deadly if you got caught in it, but it was also terrifying to hear buildings crumbling around you. The sounds, the sights, everything about it was really intense. And so that part of it, I liked. The looting, very simple. You go around, you have limited supply of ammo and stuff that you can get. You have different tiers on the guns that you can pick up, from common to the best ones that have scopes and everything else. So I felt like the loot was always pretty decent. There's also things that you can do. You can capture objectives to get specialized loot. You can open up safes. You can open up underground bunkers. So there's a lot of those little side things that you can actually do. Now, one thing I will say is if you want to play Firestorm in 2023, have some time on your hands and play at the peak moments, when people are playing, from 8 to 10 p.m. probably, and on the weekends. And I wouldn't expect to really feel too many matches. I think the most players I was able to get, this was a Tuesday, by the way, that I recorded this video, but the most players I was going to get, period, was 15. So 15 out of 60. Now, I tried to go into multiplayer match, and I was able to get in super quickly, and we were able to fill the squads pretty much. Firestorm, not so much. I think the longest I waited was like 7 to 8 minutes just to get into one match. So it's obvious that it's not necessarily dead, but it ain't like it used to be. So I looked up like the active players, and for the month of June, it was like 1.3 million players, which is actually a lot more than what I thought. But of course, that accounts for people playing multiplayer and all of the different modes. As far as active players, when I was on, I want to say it was like 22,000 or so, and I was still unable to fill the matches. Now, this doesn't have crossplay either, so that probably has a lot to do with it. You're just playing people on the console that you have. Now, I love World War II stuff. It's my favorite part of history. I'm really into it. I collect World War II guns. I collect World War II trophy items, if you will. It's just something I'm really into. And as far as the guns, the gameplay, the sounds, everything is really intense. And even to this day, I hope we can appreciate how good this game actually looks. Now, I will say, Footsteps, you thought Call of Duty was bad? This game is loud when it comes to footsteps. The armor plating system is fairly intuitive. You have different levels, you have different backpacks to pick up more loot. And there was never really anywhere that I went where I was like, oh man, there's no loot here. But one thing is, when you have 15 players and it takes you almost 8 minutes to get into a match, things can get kind of campy really quick. And I'm not going to say that I wasn't a part of that, because I definitely was. I didn't want to get killed right off the rip and have to wait another 8 minutes potentially to get into a match. Now, I never won a match. I don't think I've ever won a match in Firestorm, which is crazy. The counter says I've spent like 140 hours playing Battlefield 5, but only 2 of which was Firestorm, which I remember playing this a lot more than that. I don't know how accurate that is, but there you go. I don't ever remember playing or winning a match in Firestorm, though, regardless. They kind of section off the map, so you don't have access to the entire map, at least the the games that I played, they kind of just section off what the portion of the map or the Firestorm area will be. So there was never one match where everything was open up and then it shrunk back in, which is actually works really well when you only have 15 players that you're up against. Also notice that you can carry quite a bit of loot, man. I mean, you can carry a Panzerfaust, you can carry, 2 ARs. I mean, quite a bit of ammo. You got your plates, you got your health kits. So there's quite a bit of things that you can actually carry in the game. And overall, man, I would say it's playing this game now, it's bittersweet because we're obviously past its prime. And I just feel like DICE or whoever was in control of this knew what the hell they were doing. This is a diamond in the rough. I mean, it really is a lot of fun. And it's unfortunate that they never put in another map. They never expanded upon what this game could have been. They didn't add it in Battlefield 2042, a Firestorm 2 or whatever the hell they would have called it. To me, this is one of the best Battle Royale experiences and super underrated, man. And even though there was only 15 players and I had to wait so long to get into a match, I still had as much fun now as I had back then. It's super intense. The fire will destroy everything in its path. And to me, what they put together here is somewhat of a freaking masterpiece that they never capitalize on. To me, this could have been the best Battle Royale experience ever, but they decided, we're just going to let it die along with Battlefield 5. And unfortunately, Battlefield 2042, even though that game has gotten really good now as well, man. I'm a huge fan of Battlefield, man. I wish they made better decisions because Firestorm is, although at this point, on a ventilator, it's almost there, it's almost dead, not quite. This could have been a true masterpiece, and I had a hell of a time with it, even in 2023. You can't say that about too many games 5 years later. And by the way, I know I've already said it, but the graphics in this game were incredible. It is a beautiful freaking game. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Firestorm, to me, was one of the best things Battlefield has ever done, and yet they've let it just go by the wayside. Love to hear what your thoughts are, man. Did you enjoy Firestorm back in the day? Do you still play it now? Would you play it now, knowing that you have to wait, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes to get into a match and not fill that match? Love to hear your thoughts down below. If you like what I do, consider subscribing and hit your notifications so you never miss one from me. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.